Okay, welcome back. So now we can move our ship up and down, shoot a laser, and we can go to the right in a crude way, but it works. Again, this is only basic, and what I'm going to do today is figure out how to get the ship to go the other way. So let's dive into that and figure out how we're going to do this. So basically, I'm just going to start with a new line here, and we have ship on and ship off. Now we're going to have ship left on, which means going to the left, and I'm just simply going to do what I did for the first one, but we are going to build a string value, but let me draw the ship first. But we're going to say, just to reserve $3, we're just going to say right now that it equals 0. That's going to be our placeholder for our ship going to the left. We're going to build that string later. Right now, I need to get a diagram of the ship to the left. So I'm going to attempt to copy the first ship, however, in a slightly different way. So I need to list line 39 so I can see what, oh yeah, that was good. List line 39 so I can see what I'm doing here. It's the only way to compare the two lines, list them together, and our BM was 128.96. So we'll start with that. This stupid Windows crap. I think I said 128.96. And I'm trying to look at my program here, and I hit something on the taskbar, and they have so much junk under there that I never look at, like news and all this other nonsense they have on there that can't stand, and the updates that they constantly force you to do. It's just like, and if you have Word, they make you do updates on Word. It's just like ridiculous. So I have color is going to be white again. However, I'm going to have to do a little math here because we want the ship to move within the same boundaries, and I can't start at 128 because I'm going in the other direction. So 128 minus the 15 is actually, we want to start at 113.96 was the Y value, I believe. And this is going to be the ship drawn the opposite way. So as you can see here, I went right 15. This time I'm going to go left 15. I'm just going to do everything the opposite so the ship appears to go in the other direction. So H, the opposite of H should be E, and we're going to see how this turns out. And now we have a left 8, so this would be changed to a right 8. There's no easy way to do this. So, alright, it just has to be done like this. So the H would be an E4, or right 4. This is not bad at all. Up 5, right 4, up. I might be screwing this up. I think some of this that I have to save here. I think that we're going to see what we end up with, and I have a feeling this isn't going to be right. I think we're going to be fine up to here. So we don't want to reverse the down command, I believe. So we want to leave that. We just want to change the right and left commands and our angles from H to E. Down, where am I? Am I on this? Left, E, right, E, right, right, down, right. Okay, so this is right. Down 3, left 4, down 2, left 6, and that should be it. Now, how am I going to check this? Well, I'm going to put 54, go to 54 as a stop. I need a screen setup, so I'm going to make a bypass. I'm going to bypass line number 2, 25, alright, space. I'm going to bypass the entire program, and I'm going to go to 51, and if I run the program, list, there's a type mismatch in 52, and I don't know what that problem could be. It's just a string here. I think it needs a string value. 0 is not a string value, so we need to get rid of that. Son of a... We'll just put an empty space in there, and of course it carried the 0 over. Let's run this, and there's our ship to the left. Perfect. And I'm gonna, now that should be in the exact same space as the ship to the right, and if I use my protractor, can't really tell much. But we have the ship going to the left, so we'll find out sooner or later whether it's lined up right. I mean, mathematically it works. So we're getting there. So what I'm going to do here is change 54 to a return statement. And I'm going to edit 2 because I know I have the correct dimensions. And I'm going to get rid of this bypass. So if I run the program, we're back to where we started. What I need to do now is look into the joystick area, which is line 27. So we're going to list line 27 to 37. And so K is up. K is up. I'm sorry, K0 is up. K63 is down. J goes to the right, and that's for scrolling, so that's going to be modified, not modified, that's fine. So what we need to do is renumber this and stick a line in here and list it all over again using Shift and at. I'm able to pause my scroll, and if so, you know, it doesn't work very well. You have to be real quick with the you know, this is just pissing me off now. let's see here. I need to break it to get it to stop. Alright, so 34 is going to be if j equals 0. Now that's going to the left. Now we have to decide what happens. Well, first we need to get rid of the ship going to the right, and we'll do that by go subbing to 41. And if we list 41, we can see that it is not the same 41 it used to be, because when you renumber these things, all the numbers change, so now I have to look for it. It's 42 now, and 20, what was it, 27 to 37. Edit line 34. So we're go subbing to 42, which is gonna shut the ship off as it's going to the right. And then we need to redraw the ship going to the left, which is a go sub to, and I can't type anything, I don't know why. Go sub to, I don't know, we're going to save line 34 in our actual memory here. To 52, edit 34. We're going to go sub to 52, and then the program is going to freeze. So we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, but as soon as we change direction, we hop up there, and I can tell right away that it's not in the same position. Don't ask me why. So what I'm going to have to do here is, those numbers obviously were correct, and I didn't need to do any more math on them. So whatever this was, it needs to be put back to 128, and I just put C for change, and I can just change that. So if I go to the left, I just turn. See how smooth that was? I just turn. I can go, alright, get rid of that. Just turn. It doesn't work exactly right yet. And if I hold my protractor up, we are still not perfectly even here. So yeah, I actually need to push it to the right. If I do this, we can see that it's not perfectly lined up. And that's not good. So by eyeballing it, I'd say it maybe needs to go to the right 5 spaces. I'm a little sleepy today. And let me run this again, because like I said, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing here. So yes, it needs to go this way. It needs to go, this one needs to go to the right a little bit. So I think if I add 5 to 128, that might be good. 128. And if you're writing these programs, you want to always have a calculator handy. So this should be 33, and maybe that'll fix it. If it doesn't, then we'll do something else. Now this should line up perfectly. And does it line up perfectly? I think it's off by 1 pixel. Okay, guys? So it needs to go one more. It needs to come back 1 pixel. So 32. So I went over 4 pixels. I went over 5 pixels, but that was too much. So this should line up perfectly, and it does. Okay? There's common sense in writing computer programs. Just use your common sense. Alright? So those line up perfectly. And yes, I'm counting by pixels. You have to learn how to do that. You can see them. If you can't see them, use a magnifying glass. Learn how to use a ruler. I can see this is 3 pixels on an angle, okay? And going up and down. So anyways, let's clear this, list it, find out where we stand here. So now we need to make it go up and down like we did on the other one. So how do we do that? By substituting this area with a string. And the string is going to be BM plus STR $, and we started at 132. We do not need an X value because the ship is stationary, so that just stays the same. And what this does is it converts a number into something that's acceptable. Now, string data is just letters and symbols. If you want to insert numbers into your string data, you have to use STR $, and you just add them in like this. And then what we need is a comma, and then another plus sign, and then another string, another STR $. This time it's going to be 96, which is the Y value plus Y. We're almost done. And then we need a semicolon. So when I print, well, if I don't know, $3 hasn't been registered yet, so we need to run the program. If I cut out, I list the program, now it's registered. Because in this mode, if you have numbers in text mode, then you're in line mode. I'm sorry, this is line mode. It doesn't register until you run the program. So now I can print $, and what's wrong here, guys? That should be equaling something, and it doesn't. Run it. Now we have to go to the left. Now it will register. Let's print $, subscripted by 3, and now we should get our BM 132.96. And what we have to do now is we need to replace this area here. I'll show you with a draw. We need to replace it with an $, plus, and then once we get into the quotation area, we remove everything that we put into $, into the string, just up to the C1, and the program will run exactly the same. It will turn left, okay? But what we need to do is make it go up and down. So how is that accomplished? Well, first we need to make another line, ship left off, because we need to get rid of it. So yet again, we're going to have to make a string. Number 4 equals space for right now, and we're going to have to draw this same, copy this same data over into another draw statement, and then we're going to have our variable statement come after that as usual. So we're just going to draw $, subscripted to 4, and C0 is black, and we just copy everything else, L15, E6, R8, E4, R4, D5, R4, D3, L4, D2, L6, and that is it. So 59 is going to be if, now left, right, wow, I don't know, what is it, if, I'm getting confused here. K goes up and down, Wait a second. Okay, we're getting into the weeds now. K. Now we're gonna have to. Wait a second, guys. Now we're coming into an area here where we have to be careful. Okay, I gotta take a breath here. Figure out how to do this. Before we even do that, we need to say something. Let's list 27 through 37. Now, J is our first left command. It begins in the right hand position, so we need to distinguish our K values now. We're going to edit 34. If J equals 0, then we're just going to say A. I don't think I used A anywhere in the program. You have to make sure that you don't have conflicts going on, and I don't believe I did. So we're going to say, if J equals 0, if the joystick is moved to the left, then A equals 1. That's our first step. And then we can go sub to 42 and draw our graphic, or get rid of our right hand graphic, put our left hand graphic on the screen. So now that we have that A value, we're going to list 27 through 37 again. And we need to apply it to lines 32 and 33. Now, because we need to distinguish our K values, because we're going to have 4 of them. 2 of them are going to be are going to support our right ship going up and down. The other 2 are going to support our left ship going up and down. So the first thing we always do is get rid of our right ship, but that's not always going to be the case. So we're going to have to double this up here. And this is going to be really tough to do. If you're a beginner, well, I'm not going to get into that. Let's just, we need to have 2 K0s and 2 K63s. So we're going to renumber line 32 as 33. And the new number always comes first. This is the start line. I mean, this is the new line, this is the start line, and this is the increment. So I do need this, I need space in there. 32 is now going to become, well, actually edit 31. So this is going up. If K equals 0 and A equals 0, then we're going to go sub and we're going to do all this other stuff. I can't get out of insert mode for some reason. However, let's relist this. So if we go up and our A value is 0, which is ship going to the right, then we do all of our stuff. If not, it will go on to read the next line, which is if K equals 0 going up and A equals 1, which would distinguish that our ship is going to the left, then we're going to go sub, and we're going to put 32 in our actual memory. We're going to edit 32, and actually we're going to edit 32, and we're going to turn our ship off. So we're going to, our left ship off, we're going to go sub to 57, okay, and then it's going to return. We're not even done with that area yet, but when we do, I hate this. This is so hard to edit these program lines. Okay, go sub. So we're going to turn it off, then we're going to turn it back on, and that's it. Our return statements will take care of the rest of it. If there's any errors, I'll work those out. The only other thing I need to do is make 60 and 61. So if now I forgot how I did this for the other one. Let's just look at the list here. We're working in K's right now, so if K, we just need a Y. Alright, if K is the same thing as for the other one, if K equals 0, then we're going up. Y equals Y minus 10. If that doesn't apply, it's going to be one or the other. If K equals 63, which would be going down, then Y equals Y plus 10. 62 is just a return statement. And the only other thing I need to do is edit 58. Put our BM stuff in there. So I'm going to recap before I run it to make sure everything's right. We need our BM. Can't type BM. There's just so many different commands for edit that it's ridiculous. STR $, where are we? 132. And plus, I'm just copying this information from up here, comma, plus STR $, 96 plus Y plus, we need a semicolon, and this should, let me run the program here. We can do this, we can do this, we can shoot, we can fly to the right, we can turn left, and I stay in the same position, and I just messed it up. By trying to go to the right, I turn left, I can go up, nope, I can't go up, I'm turning to the right. So let's run this again. I should be able to go left and down, but it's turning to the right. So left, it does go up, but it's not applying something. We're turning off, but we're not turning back on, is my suspicion, because I can see it erasing. So we're turning off, but we're not turning back on. Let's list our joystick again. If K equals 0 and A equals 1, then go sub 57, go sub 53, list 57, which is our off, list 53, which is our on, list 27 to 37. So if K equals 0 and A equals 1, it's not applying our values for some reason. Guys, it's painstaking. I don't know why it's not applying our values here. We're getting it here. This is weird. I hate when stuff like this happens. Now it's blinking. What is happening here? I turn to the left, you can see it blink. So that means it's disappearing and rewriting. And then you can see it doing the same thing, and then it just disappears. Print Y. If k equals 0, then y equals y minus 10. It's not redrawing the new one. It's redrawing it as a blank. We should be go subbing to 57 and then 53. Go subbing to 57, and it's disappearing, but then it's redrawing it in the same spot. Run this again. Run. Left. Why? These guys aren't lining up. See, they're not. I don't know what is going on here. Why isn't that lined up? It was lined up before. I don't know why it's not lining up. You know, you guys. I don't know. It's turning into a mess here. Left. And we don't erase. I thought this was going to be easy. I mean, according to the data, everything matches. Let me check this. 15, 6, 8, 4, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4. Yeah, everything matches. If k equals 0, something's not right. Print A. Something's wrong with our joystick statement, and I don't know what it is. If k equals 0 and a equals 0, then we have our ship right function functioning just fine. But if k equals 0 and a equals 1, we're defining a equals 1 by changing to the left, okay? Now I think this is the trouble area here, because something is happening. We're erasing our ship to the right, which is correct, and then we're placing a ship we're replacing the right hand ship, replacing it by a left hand ship. Now a equals 1. So when we do this, oh, here's the conflict. we're go subbing to 43. 43 to, I'd say, 50. Now what's happening here? Wait a minute. No. We are turning it off, but K isn't being touched. K is not being touched. We're just turning to the left, so these are not true. K should equal 31 at this point. So it should just get rid of that ship. Let's run this. Turn it to the left. Print K equals 31. From 41, from 43. K's are up and down movement, so that shouldn't do anything. It shouldn't change K at all. It should just change A to 1, get rid of the ship, go to 53, which is only a simple graphic. I don't know where the trouble's coming from here. Now, K sheet, we're going to 57, then we're going to 53. So forgive me, I have absolutely no idea why this isn't working. We're fine like this. As soon as we turn left, we're getting some problem here. It is turning it off. Then it's replacing it in the same place that it started. And then it's skipping. Oh man. I can't imagine why this isn't working. Guys, I just figured it out. Here is our culprit. Right here. It's line 55. This should be $$ subscripted by 3. Now it should work. Now we have it. Okay. We have up movement here. Now when I turn back to the left, there's a corruption because I haven't gotten that far. But at least that's not my problem right now. That's the least of my worries. We're going up now, and we can turn to the left. Now we just need to go down, and then I'll address the other thing. So, let's list our joystick area again. I really thought I wasn't going to be able to figure that out. I mean, it's just one of those things, just a type error. And computer programs, there is no room for error. There is zero room for error. If you make one wrong character, you're finished. You either get an error, which is the easiest way to figure out where the problem is, but if you make an error that's not detectable by I don't know what it's called, the correction system, I don't know, and you don't get an error code, well then you're stuck looking through your code to figure out where you messed up, because not every error is going to give an error like syntax error E or whatever it is. I think there's 50 of them. So beware is all I have to say. If you're going to get into this, you really have to have some patience. So what we need here is we need a fourth K value. We're going to stick one more line in here, and this is going to be the end of the video for today. I'm really tired. I got to go lay down. I didn't get as far as I hoped to. I was going to put the laser in and make it go the other way, but that's going to have to be tomorrow. I got too hung up on, trying to figure out what was going wrong here. I just don't have the time now. It's almost 40 minutes already. So we're going to list 37, 27 to 37. And we have one more K value. We're going to have 4 K values now. And J and we're going to have to do some manipulation where we get rid of the conflict when it turns back to the right. It doesn't erase correctly. But for now, we're going to say if K equals, we have what on earth is going on here, guys? Alright, we have 2 K values, which is up. A either equals 0 or 1. Now we're going to have 2K63. So actually didn't put this in the right place. Actually I did, thank God. Alright. Wait. Yeah, something. We want it here if K equals 63. Okay, and that doesn't say and, that said sand, okay? Alright, if K equals 63 and A equals 1, meaning we're facing to the left, okay, then we're gonna, same thing, we're gonna go sub 58, I hope. I think I renumbered it, and that's why the lines changed. Go sub 58, go sub 54. Renumber this program by ones. List, we have how many lines of basic now? 63 lines. List 20 to 35. The joystick's in there somewhere. So if K equals 0, 63 and A equals 1, we're going to do the same thing we did for if it equaled up. Same thing for down. The variables will automatically compute, and we should get a downward motion. But I need to alter line 33. If K equals 63 and A equals 0, then if I don't do this, we're going to get conflict between the up and down. List 20 to 35. See, the reason I have to do this is it won't identify here. It's the easiest way to do it here. This is like zeros and ones are also known as digitizing, but this isn't true digitizing, but I use zeros and ones in these cases, and it reminds me of how they digitize things. You just need to use zeros and ones, okay? So okay, let's see here. All right, we can do this, we can do this, we can shoot, we can go to the right, we can turn left, we can go up, we can go down. I'm going to leave it here because it took 45 minutes to get that far. Next time, I'm going to put the laser beam in, pointing this way. I'm going to situate these mountains in the center of the screen, and we're going to scroll this way, and then we're going to scroll back the other way, and that's what we're going to do next time. So one more time, I'm going to run this, and if I turn, now I'm going to use my protractor to see whether this is lining up or not. I hold the protractor up to the screen, I'm going to turn it to the left, and it is lined up. The tips line up. I'm going to do this one more time, and let's see if the back lines up. This is hard to see. I think I have 1 and I forgot how to read this. It's like 16ths and 8ths. 1, 2, so 4, 8, 12. We have 12 16ths, 13 16ths. So the back should line up with 13 16ths. It looks like it does. So I'm good there. Like I said, I just need a laser beam going the other way in the center of these mountains so that they're not to one side or the other. When you start the game, they'll be in the middle. And you can go left this far, right that far. And I hope everybody continues to watch. And I can go into this area down here, and there's no erasing of anything. Like I said, this is basic. If this was machine language, you wouldn't detect those pixels being redrawn. That's okay. We don't need to be perfect here. And the ship is placed layered on over the mountains. So if we go this way, the mountains are placed on the screen first, and the ship is placed over the top of the mountains. That way, there's no obstruction, there's no problem with the ship here. One more time. If I come down here and I fly, shoot, there's no obstruction because it's being redrawn. And the mountains are drawn first and the ship is drawn over it. And that's the end of this video, guys. Before I let you go here, I am going to save this. Otherwise I'll forget, and then I'll be really upset, and we don't want that. So I'm going to save this. C-Save Defender version 4, and you can only fit 8 characters, so this is 8 characters, just abbreviate. And once that's done, I'll print it out by using the LLIST command. And once that's done, I am finished. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. I'll probably see you back tomorrow. We'll finish up with the laser and the mountains, and hopefully it won't take so long. I think the hardest part is already done. And there's probably other challenges that lay ahead, but I think the hardest part is already done. So that's it. Bye.